I'm an Escaped Government Experiment, Part 3, written by Elisha012. Good news, guys. It turns out that Stan wasn't with the government. He does work with them, but that's getting ahead of the story. I know you guys want to know what happened at the meeting, so I'll get right to it. Stan arrived shortly after I had posted my update. When I first saw Stan, I nearly bailed because he looked like a government agent. Black suit, dark sunglasses, and the little earpieces that you always see government agents wearing. But it was too late to bail because he had already spotted me and was headed my way. "It's nice to meet you, Buck," Stan said, extending his arm out for a handshake. Likewise, I replied, shaking his hand. Stan then took a seat right across from me and said nothing. I figured that he wanted me to speak first, so I did. "Okay, let's get down to business," I said a little nervously. "You said that you could get me off the grid for a price. So, what's your price?" "Well, Buck, I assume that you don't have much money. So, paying me isn't much of an option now, is it?" He was right. I didn't have that much money. I had left most of my money back at my house. And even with the money that I had in my wallet, there was no way that I could pay for him to help me. "Would 100 work?" I asked. "That wouldn't even cover a fraction of it," he said. "Well, how are you supposed to help me if I can't even pay you?" "I'm glad you asked. You see, I work with a private company called REC, or REC. We help people like you along with many other things. And so, you can pay me for my services by helping me. As of late, I've been assigned the duty of directing some very important missions for REC. But I haven't been able to find the right person for the job until I read your post and did a bit of research on you." "What do you mean you did a bit of research about me?" "I'm sure that you know that you're a level 900, as you mentioned it in your first post." Yeah, what does that even mean?" "It means that you have the potential to be very useful. I have to tell you though, the scientists at the facility were never planning to kill you." But the radio said that they were. What about the hallucination that I had?" "Well, the hallucination you had was correct, but the radio was wrong. The scientists were going to blow you up because they wanted to test you." To test me?" I said. "You have to understand that the scientists were doing a lot more than reading the reports that you gave them. In actuality, they were testing chemicals on you." But how?" I asked. "The liquid that you would pour on yourself after your dreams was much more than water. As a matter of fact, in the last 2 years that you were there at the facility, they tested over 700 different chemicals on you." "What? Why were they testing chemicals on me?" "They were trying to get some type of extreme neurological reaction. And when you had that vivid dream, it was the reaction that they were looking for." "Oh, okay, I get that they were looking for some kind of reaction, but what for?" "Well, the reaction was a sign that your enhanced human abilities were ready for service. You see, you were in a program much more important than to see what types of dreams you had. That would actually be a complete waste of time. You were in a program with 15 others to create the perfect soldier. You had been the first one to show any promise. The rest hadn't even come close to your progress. That's why the scientist decided to blow you up. You see, one of the most important abilities of the perfect soldier is to be able to regenerate damaged or destroyed body parts. When you had that dream, the scientist thought that you were ready to be tested. But of course, you weren't. If you had been there when they detonated the bomb, you would have died. So running away saved your life." But what about the weird visions that I had? I'm sure the scientists weren't trying to create some sort of psych soldier, were they?" Well, the scientists are not entirely sure why you had that vision, but for now, they're assuming that it was some sort of side effect, Stan said. Okay, this is great and all, but why won't my enhanced abilities work? Well, the scientists that were experimenting on you forgot about something very important. The catalyst. The catalyst, I questioned. Yes, the catalyst that would trigger your abilities. They were these. Stan pulled out an orange prescription bottle. The inside of the bottle contained a little crystal blue pill that seemed to glow a bit. I had a friend make the catalyst liquid into a pill, he said. Stan then handed me the bottle and I carefully examined it. How do I know that everything you just said isn't a bunch of lies and that this pill right here won't end up killing me the moment I swallow it? Well, I can give you the files to your case, along with the receipt from the friend that I had make the pill. Stan then showed me the files and the receipt. They all looked very official and real. So I said, okay, so if I take this pill right now, I won't die. No, if you did that, you would fall into a state of unconsciousness. Why would I be unconscious? I said suspiciously. Well, the pill contains powerful tranquilizers, so that your body remains perfectly calm while the catalyst does its magic. Interesting, I said, still very suspicious. So, Buck, do you agree? Well, I'm not sure I want to help you with your missions, but even if I did, how could I do any of them without getting captured by the government facility that I escaped from? Well, I've taken care of that for you. You might say that I did a job for them once and they haven't repaid me for it. Until today. Go on, I urged him. It's the reason why I couldn't meet with you any sooner. I was finishing up the details of the deal with the director from your facility and was driving back as fast as I could to meet with you. Okay, so what's the deal? The deal is that if you accept my offer and you help me perform all of the tasks that I've been assigned, then you're free to go and live without the worry of the government trying to capture you. That is, as long as you mind your own business and don't cause any problems. Okay, and what if I don't agree? I asked. Well, then you'll be captured the moment you walk out of the library doors, he said, and leaned back in his chair. So, I didn't really have much of a choice at this point, I thought. I had to either agree and end up free, or don't agree and be locked up and probably eventually killed. Okay, I'll do it, I said. Perfect. Stan then explained to me the rest of the stuff I would need to know to help him with his tasks. I had 3 missions, each one being extremely dangerous. But since I would have my enhancements, that wouldn't be too much of a problem. Stan then gave me the keys and directions to the local motel where I would be staying between my tasks. He told me that I would be given special equipment to help me quickly and efficiently get my missions done. The special equipment thankfully came with instructions on how to use them. Once Stan had finished filling me in on the basics, he handed me the file for my first mission. Stan had also taken the liberty of putting the special equipment I would need into the trunk of my car. So he knew that I was going to agree, didn't he? Stan said that he needed to go and to attend to other things and that he was sure that I could find my way to the motel on my own. He also told me that I was free to roam the town as I pleased between tasks, as long as I didn't go past the burned down factory on the edge of town. If I did that, I would be captured and, well, you know the rest. We said our goodbyes and parted ways. Before I got into my car, I decided to check the trunk, and sure enough, there was a small black hard-shelled case in the back of my car. I closed my trunk and drove off towards the motel. I found the motel easily. My room was no luxury suite for sure, but it would do. Once I had situated myself, I laid back on the hotel bed and took a moment to think back on the day's events. Was all of this really happening? Was I really about to go and do some random company's bidding so that I could be free? I'm not free. And what about those pills? Would they really turn me into some type of super soldier? Or would I die from poisoning? I took the prescription bottle out of my pocket and stared at it for a long time. I couldn't make up my mind whether I should take the pill or not. While I tried to figure out what I should do about the pill, I remembered about the update that I had promised you guys. So, for the past hour, I've been writing down everything that's happened to me since my last update. All the while, the prescription bottle has been watching me, beckoning for me to take it. I guess that it's now or never. Okay, I'm sitting right now in front of my laptop with a pill bottle in one hand and a glass of water in the other. Well, here goes nothing. I have officially swallowed the pill, and nothing has happened yet. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this right now, and if I don't update you guys, then it probably means that I'm dead. So until next time, Buck Middleton.